Welcome in. It is In-Game Live here with you all on Home Run Derby Monday, right here on SportsGrid. I'm Kevin Walsh. I am joined by Craig Mish, which is really just a perfect setup here for us tonight, Craig, to not just follow and bet the Home Run Derby, but mix in all the questions that'll sit out around Major League
Sure.
Baseball as we approach deadline time. How are you, man?
I'm doing great, Kevin. It's great to be with you. It's always, when I'm not at Home Run Derby, a little bit bittersweet because I do enjoy going to these events. I went to the one most recently in Los Angeles and saw that Home Run Derby, which was fun. Even caught a home run during Home Run Derby, which was even cooler. Then I took my son back to Texas. We went to that one a couple of years ago and then skipped last year in Atlanta. And then this year, with my heavy schedule doing all of the work here and with the Marlins broadcasts, I chose to make a business decision, a health decision, and sit this one out. But next 2 days, I'll be here on SportsGrid doing live broadcasting during both the Home Run Derby and the All-Star break. And so my break from all of this will come immediately after tomorrow night. When we're done, I'll get a few days off. But I'm excited for this one tonight. I feel like I'm going to pick the winner tonight. I usually don't say that, but I do feel like I got the winner tonight of Home Run Derby. We'll see if I'm correct in that.
Right?
And yeah, it's on Netflix. It should be a lot of fun. Kevin, it's great to be with you. By the way, congratulations on your wedding. I know I've said that before. Welcome back from your honeymoon
Thank you.
also.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciated it. I'm glad to be back as well. I'm glad to, have another event here for us to get involved with this home run derby. We'll talk about the changes, but for a lot of people, I think if they're going to bet this, they're going to bet the winner. And Craig, you said you feel like you have the winner
Yeah,
for
I
this
do.
event
Yeah.
tonight. So lay it on us.
Yeah, I do. I think Junior Caminero is the winner. I do. I've seen Caminero practice for this in Miami. I've seen him practice for this in St. Petersburg. He's been practicing this for about a month during his batting practices. He's hit more batting practice home runs than I've seen anybody hit when he came to Miami. And then as I followed the reporters when the Rays have gone on the road, he's done the same thing. He's put on these shows and he's told them when people have asked that he was practicing for this event. So look, this is sports. This is humans. We also have a different format tonight, and we certainly don't know how that is even going to work out here. I'm not even sure. It's not timed anymore. So this thing could go till midnight, honestly. This could be a 4-hour event. People are asking why they changed and why they did this, folks. There is, in my opinion, there's only one reason why this was all changed. Whether you like it or not, it's a new broadcast company. It's on Netflix tonight, and they got to maximize this as much as they can. So, like it or not, Kevin, that's where we're headed. People were complaining about what the hydration breaks; those were for ads. Here we are with Home Run Derby again. I think we're in that same spot. There's going to be a lot of downtime tonight, more time for ads, more time for broadcasting. Like it or not, it's the age that we live in. But back to Caminero here for a minute. I don't think he's the best home run hitter in the game right now. I think that belongs to Yordan Alvarez. Obviously, Judge when healthy, but Yordan Alvarez, to me, that's the guy that has the light tower power every second, every day. But in this particular event, I'm going with Junior Caminero to win at that odds, whatever you showed there. Was it +4 or 350, somewhere along those lines?
Yeah, Camanero's getting plenty of buzz. Obviously, the incredible home run streak that he was on, just kind of entering into this tournament. For me, and I'm sure some of this is a bit conflated in my head, but home run derby, if you do have a hometown guy in it, that matters. And we have two with Harper and Schwarber. I think in the non-judge category, Schwarber may be my vote for best home run hitter in baseball. James Wood certainly, started to make his
Yeah,
case as
good one
well.
too. Yeah.
I took the favorite in Schwarber to win this at around, I think, plus 340. I know it's moved a little bit. But I also took the NL to win at plus 130, which basically gives me both Phillies and then the little bonus Jordan Walker as well. So I am outnumbered 5-3 with our eight participants in the field. But what you will see there on my card looks like it probably it looks more ridiculous than it is.
It looks like a CVS
Uh,
receipt. Yes.
yes, and that is because I made the same bet on every single guy, which is their round one under. So to
Gotcha.
really
Okay.
just kind of lay out this format change, you get 20 swings. If you homer on your 20th swing, you then swing until you no longer hit a home run. And my initial reaction, and I was going through this all late last night, is I don't think this is going to go well. I am not sit here to be a curmudgeon, to poo-poo Major League Baseball. If I'm wrong, that means we're going to get a really fun night of home run derby. But obviously, I don't think I'm wrong. And I think all of these numbers and the way they've moved a little bit have told me I am at least on to something, that this may not be a format we're breaking down next year. Now, I think Craig is
possible.
Totally spot on with the Netflix of it all.
That's why.
Yeah, ads aren't as pressing. Time constraints aren't real. They could go until 2 a.m, right? Netflix would probably love it.
Oh, yeah.
But to me, I just think asking some of these guys to homer on 50% of their swings feels like a lot. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If Murakami hits 15, if Jordan Walker hits 15, these guys could sail. So the reason I bet all of them is I'm not capping how I think Bryce Harper or Jack Caglione are going to do. I'm capping the rules. I'm capping what these guys are being asked, and I'm betting all of them to the under. Essentially, if you disagree with me, I wouldn't pick a guy to go over. I'd pick the field then to go over. You even would have some opportunities of middle, because again, a lot of these have, at least even through juice, have kind of moved the direction that I had placed them. So I'll at least take the CLV trot while I still can, Craig. But I am not thinking that we're going to see guys go 14 for 20 on swings here. I'm just not.
Yeah, look, I think that's possible. I have no idea. I mean, you see these bats these guys have. I don't know what they have. I don't know what balls they're using for this. There's so many different elements involved that we can't predict. And that certainly is a possibility. There's a special batch of balls tonight. We don't know the answer to that. I don't know the answer to that. I mean, those things can all be in play. But I understand your reasoning on it, and I do think that we're in for a long night here. I don't know if 3 hours is the number, but I do think we are in for one. And as far as the hometown guy, look, that's not a bad idea. I remember being in Cincinnati when everyone was pulling for Todd Frazier. No one thought he would win it, and he ended up winning the home run derby there. I know that goes back a while, but he did. So it's in play for me. But the fortunate part, again, with me just simply picking Caminero, and I have a shorter card, as you saw there. I think I picked Caminero with Ben Rice. That was the other one that I went with there, just that combo. To have Ben Rice and Caminero. So, but, my reasoning is just my eyes, Kevin. Like, I'm very fortunate to be in the position that I am, being on a Major League Baseball broadcast, being at the games, being at the parks, and seeing what I saw with Caminero tells me he's the most ready for this. The other play that I'll like, and I'll talk about it tomorrow, and it may be something just around, if it hits, you can thank me, is I do think that someone that is in the home run derby tonight is going to homer tomorrow night. Usually something that I like to play, win or lose. I like guys tomorrow night to homer that participated tonight, even if they do not homer in the game, because I do get that sense that they're more prepared and swinging for the fences going into tomorrow night's game. So that's another play for me that I'll like, and I'll pick a guy for that tomorrow too.
Yeah, we'll keep that in mind. Tomorrow, Craig will be right back here to cover the All-Star game. I'll be earlier in the day with Gabe, as per, with the return of World Cup action. We've got Spain and France. Cannot wait for that. But we will also talk a little bit about tomorrow's All-Star game. I think that's one of the aspects of this that I'm incredibly excited for. I'm sure some of you are interested in, I used to love Will Ferrell, but Will Ferrell appearance 16,000. But we can actually get into some real meat and potatoes while enjoying their home run derby here tonight on SportsGrid. Be right back.
He gives them a chance, but they've got to keep putting people around him. I think he's a very good quarterback. I don't know that he's the one that elevates you all by himself. I think he still needs the help. Excellent player, perfect guy to lead your organization, perfect place for it. And by the way, I'd start him from day one. I wouldn't waste any time on it. But got to put pieces around him, and John Spytek has already started doing that.
Outspoken with Dan Cilio. Only on SportsGrid.
This is the third time he's been medically checked. Even the refs coming over. He's like, dude, like come on. Like after every sort of play in front of the net, the kind of goal he's done.
Yeah.
He's
stop jumping.
He's on the turf, like you said, like he's like driving off the top rope. And look at him here again. I give him credit. He's freaking fearless.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
Are you ready for el verano más futbolero de tu vida? Latination Football Club turns into Copa Nation, our live stream experience every day, de lunes a viernes, 11 a.m. Pacific and 2 p.m. Pacific as well. Checking in after the games. In that slot between games, we got you, my friend. We're going to have celebrities, legends of the game, content creators, and a bunch of our friends that are going to keep you entertained and informed, letting you know what's happening all across the 3 countries that are going to be experiencing this crazy football tournament. Don't miss it. Copa Nation right here on Latin Nation every day. Check it out.
All right, guys, we're back in the right here on SportsGrid, getting ready for Home Run Derby 2026 in Philadelphia. And, you know, Craig mentions Yordan Alvarez, the home run hitter and his home run prowess. And listen, it's undeniable. Yordan Alvarez to me is the one player who will put up these numbers of like guys in the 2000s, where he's hitting 320 with 100 RBI and 45 home run. He's just always been kind of wildly efficient. I do look at Schwarber, though, as a pure home run hitter, right? When Kyle, who's hitting 250 this year, it's like, oh my gosh, right? Kyle Schwarber the year prior hit 240, and he won the other than Ohtani MVP, I'm pretty sure, in the National League. He's got a pretty good shot at getting to 500 career home runs. Craig, he's at 372. I would think that'll get him to 500, right?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, look, even if he just slugs along and does not much for the next 4 or 5 years, I would think that he'll continue to play. And he's now in that sort of legendary category, Kevin, where he's, would you say that he's going to end up being like a Philly lifer, even though he played with the Cubs and he played with the Nationals and he, sort of bounced around? I mean, people forget he played with the Nationals, but he sort of bounced around. He was most known, of course, for the Cubs because he was part of that team that won the World Series. But when it's all said and done, Kevin, I think he'll probably end with Philly 4 years, 3 years, somewhere along those lines. And people will remember him more as a Philly than a Cub, which is kind of crazy. Hopefully for him, he gets a chance to at least get to a World Series or get in a World Series, because the other issue, I think, for that team in particular, Kevin, is that they do have Dave Dombrowski there. So that window is wide open, whatever he's the president and GM. But I mean, 3 years from now, what is Philly going to look like? It ain't going to be with Harper playing like this and Real Muto playing like this and Wheeler playing like this and Nola being a pitcher there. They do a good job of building and rebuilding too, but
yeah,
their window's like 2 years to me.
Just to the Schwarber Philly point, this is his 5th season with the Phils. So he's going to probably put in, based on that contract, a decade as a Philadelphia Philly. So I think you're right. I'll leave it to you to figure out Hall of Fame, and maybe you can handle all that. But there's going to be a ton of home runs that come from Kyle Schwarber. There's no doubt. And that's one of the other elements that kind of drew me to him is a lot of when you say best home run hitters ever, they do have this on the resume, right? Judge, Stanton, Bonds, Griffey, McGuire, Sosa. To put Schwarber in that class certainly is a lot. But, man, Kyle Schwarber, since coming to Philadelphia, 46, 47, 38, 56. He's at 32 right now as we hit not the midway point, but,
it's
All-Star
way
break.
past the midway, yeah.
Yeah, but still, another 50 home run seasons on the board. He's 18
Definitely.
out.
Yeah.
I mean, Kyle Schwarber is, and that's why, because it was a slower start to the career
Yes.
for
Yes.
A ton of different reasons. But can Schwarber end up a 550 home run? I think the winning has to come with it. But again, if he just ends up one of those guys that we remember, Craig, all-time power hitter, putting a derby under his belt will matter to him, I think.
Yeah, I think so. And look, Hall of Fame will be debatable because of his other numbers will be so low. But what will help him is on base percentage and slug. Joey Votto sort of broke the mold for that. Like Joey Votto wanted to get on more than he wanted to hit. That's not to say that he didn't hit, but take a look at Joey Votto's career on base percentage. And once and he'll be a first ballot Hall of Famer. So when he gets in the Hall of Fame, that'll sort of be the benchmark. And then guys like Schwarber can follow when you start to take a look at slug and OBP. And that's exactly what Schwarber is. But, I think he does have a shot at the Hall of Fame. I do. I think that he's in that conversation. And I think that we have to just change what our expectations are. 250 is the new 300. It's very sad to say, but it kind of is. Or 270 is definitely the new 300. I know that. But it would be something, for him. And by the way, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't he a big part of last year's home run derby with the walk-off shot? I wasn't he the guy when it was tied last year? Because I think they ended in regulation of the All-Star game, and then they went to a home run derby, and he ended up winning it, right?
Yes, I believe you are right. The home run derby winner last year was Cal Raleigh. His kind of, magical season didn't involve that, but yes.
But Schwarber won the swing off, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. In the All-Star game. No, absolutely. It's a good point. Just to the point of the Philadelphia Phillies as a whole, they are now another, and we do get these every year, these clear examples of why you can't panic in April, but you can react. And I think that's we fire a lot of people, right, Craig? We all know that. And this guy's got to go. This guy's got to go. But Don Mattingly is the favorite to win NL Manager of the Year. Is it a coincidence? I'll let you tell me. But what I know is the Philadelphia Phillies have proved, hey, it's a long season, but you are allowed to just adjust off of the early results, as they've pulled themselves now as a team who's expected to be in the postseason and contend for the National League if it's somebody other than the Dodgers.
Yeah, I think Donnie's got a great shot at it. I think that we're going to have some sort of fatigue on Pat Murphy would be my guess, who to me every year that he manages is probably the manager of the year on that team in Milwaukee because they're just not as talented as some of the other teams, but he's just so fantastic and took over a situation that was really unenviable, leaving with Craig Counsell leaving and going to Chicago. But yeah, I think that's in play. Absolutely. And I think they asked Donnie about coming back, and he was a little bit actually more emphatic than I thought, knowing Donnie the way that I do. Usually he doesn't give any answers. We'll see. Manager of the year, that's not me. But remember, he just won manager of the year with the Marlins not that long ago, maybe 5-6 years ago. So I'm happy for him. You're never going to catch me saying anything negative about Donnie. He was great to me his years in South Florida. And then when he came back just recently with the Phillies, we had a chance to talk for a long time too. So he's one of my all-time favorites. And Kevin, for me, growing up in particular in the 80s, I'm 53, so growing up in the 80s and having a chance every day to deal with Donnie when he was manager of the Marlins and interview him, I always kind of felt, somebody actually asked me, it's funny that you bring this up, because somebody the other day asked me about this. Like, do you ever feel at this stage of your career like in awe of anybody or anything? But I said, like, once out of every 4 or 5 days, Donnie, I would just look up and go, damn, I'm talking to Don Mattingly right now. And like the other 5 days, it wouldn't even hit me. But like once a week, I'd be like, wow, I'm sitting here with Don Mattingly.
Home run derby should be starting soon, you think?
He gives them a chance, but they've got to keep putting people around him. I think he's a very good quarterback. I don't know that he's the one that elevates you all by himself. I think he still needs the help. Excellent player, perfect guy to lead your organization, perfect place for it. And by the way, I'd start him from day one. I wouldn't waste any time on it. But got to put pieces around him, and John Spytek has already started doing that.
Outspoken with Dan Cilio. Only on SportsGrid.
This is the third time he's been medically checked. Even the refs coming over. He's like, dude, like come on. Like after every sort of play in front of the net, the kind of goal he's done.
Yeah.
He's
like,
on
stop
the
jumping.
He's on the turf, like you said, like he's like driving off the top rope. Look at him here again. I give him credit. He's freaking fearless.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
Are you ready for el verano más futbolero de tu vida? Latination Football Club turns into Copa Nation, our live stream experience every day de lunes a viernes, 11 a.m. Pacific and 2 p.m. Pacific as well. Checking in after the games. In that slot between games, we got you, my friend. We're going to have celebrities, legends of the game, content creators, and a bunch of our friends that are going to keep you entertained and informed, letting you know what's happening all across the 3 countries that are going to be experiencing this crazy football tournament. Don't miss it. Copa Nation right here on Latin Nation every day. Check it out.
All right, we're back here on In-Game Live on SportsGrid. Kevin Walsh and Craig Mish. And I do want to just talk a little bit before we see it on play. And I know that'll give us the answers see it unfold. The format change, though, if you remove, I think, your correct analysis of new broadcast partner, here's what we've cooked up. From the actual product itself, Craig, 20 swings, plus, if you can tack on a couple first round, 15 semifinal, 15 final, no bracket. Like, what are your expectations for what we're going to see here tonight?
I'm not sure. I think it's a long night ahead of us. That I think. I personally liked the timer. I thought the timer was good. I thought it kind of forced the issue. And I don't know. I don't know how it's going to go exactly tonight, Kevin. It's a great question because I've been watching this format now, it feels like, for almost 10 years, and I thought it was very successful. I thought Home Run Derby in particular was, going into tonight, the very best of all the All-Star events, whether it's the non-existent Pro Bowl, whatever that is anymore. The NBA All-Star game is now an absolute disaster. NHL All-Star game, I don't think anybody cares. And Major League Baseball's All-Star game tomorrow night, by the 5th inning, everyone's out. It's just true. I mean, I've left the All-Star game the last 2 times I've been early. Actually, yes, I've left the last 2 times early. They didn't have the swing off, So, they actually 2 years ago, I take it back. Let me rewind. In Texas, they had the swing off rule, but it didn't go to a swing off. So we left. And so I don't know what my expectations are tonight. I am always an optimist when it comes to baseball and this stuff. I'm not a pessimist. I know that there's a lot, they can't have a pitch clock. That worked. Can't have ABS. That's working. They changed the format here. Maybe look, Kevin, let's play half full. Maybe we'll be pleasantly surprised. But I personally think that this was done all tonight for the broadcast. To me, that's, and it's a gorgeous broadcast, by the way, let me add, as they throw out the first pitch. So you won your first bet between 8 and 8:30 was the first swing. So, Yep. And the first swing is not a home run, by the way, from Wilson Contreras, but a long night, I think, tonight for us.
Yeah, I think we're going to see. And Contreras had, and I think you factor in juice, the lowest home run total. So for me, I think I'm going to have a pretty good idea what kind of night I'm in for here. I'm not going to be overreacting until the final few swings, towards the wagers here. It's also the home run derby. We always bet responsibly, but we're very responsible on a home run derby night and keeping things, pretty low stakes. Craig, he's right now, I think 2-2, 4 swings, 2 home runs. So he's at 50%.
Yep. Is that 50?
You'll take that.
Yep.
I don't think the pace feels egregious, but just to kind of the thing that I am worried about, and are just some like low totals. Like I think Wilson Contreras hitting 5 home runs, embarrassing might be strong, but I don't think it's a great look. And I'm not sure that I'm not saying that like, Wilson Contreras doesn't belong in the home run derby, but more so just the way they've kind of formatted this year. I do think what works to these guys' advantage, and you're seeing it, is obviously the removal of the clock. And there's a fine enough pace, but these guys are getting plenty of time, in between swings. And Wilson Contreras just hit a ball 482, Craig.
Yeah, no, good.
Wilson
start
Contreras is not supposed to hit the furthest home runs tonight. That tells us, are we going to get a 500-footer tonight?
We could. Look, like I said, Kevin, we don't know what's up with these bats and these balls, man. That's
right.
That's always part of the equation too. So we'll see if it just continues for everybody. But this is an incredible start for home run derby for Wilson Contreras.
Yeah, I think Chris just
go.
told us the longest home run prop of the night just cashed. And by the way, I will be annoyed to lose the money, but I won't be embarrassed if I go 0-8. I'll have just read the format wrong, right? If Wilson Contreras 7 swings in sends the long home run prop over for the entire event, they probably messed some things up here. Is there any fatigue that sets in? Time will tell. He's got hit 50% of his swings down.
Look at this bat that he's using. What is that?
It's a pencil, is it? Is it a pencil bat?
Right, but I'm just saying, like, do we really know in the end? Does it really matter? in the end?
Well, it certainly matters via the bets, right? I don't think Wilson Contreras is going to be able to call himself the best power hitter of all time. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to be right back, though, as we're following Home Run Derby 2026. We're making it happen with you all right here, of course, on In Game Live, as I'm pretty sure we are running up against a break here right now. Contreras, we'll be right back. Awesome. Okay, back here on Sports Grid, and you want to talk about getting data. Wilson Contreras is either going to have the single best round one performance or every single bet's going over. That's where we're at here, right, Craig?
One of the two. Yeah, you're right.
He has 13 home runs. I believe the prop for most round one home runs by a single player was 13 and a half. He just, before his final swing here, okay, you can tell this, taking all the time in the world, because this is now essentially the infinity swing, right, where you can kind of just go for ages right now. He's gone over his number, of course. The longest home run prop he has cleared multiple times. And again, this isn't just like, oh, it's the first hitter. He had the lowest numbers of the field. At some books hung 7.5, but 8.5 with the juice. This was the guy who had the lowest props heading into this whole thing. And
he did it.
Here we are.
Oh, no, he didn't make it. He didn't make it on that final swing, but here we are with Wilson Contreras now, and I'm not going to do this. My bets are in. But if I say I had no bets, I'd be very interested, Craig, in betting everybody's overs on books that are still offering. Yeah, like that's the hard part. Like I think that we've got an indicator here, but I think the second player will be the determiner. I think that's it. I think the second guy will determine either whether Contreras is just really good at this or if everybody's going to just mash the numbers here. So that's the positive. The negative, and I hate to do it, but the negative of tonight is, as we talked about, and this is a problem. This is a problem that they'll have to fix next year, is you can't be at 8:35 Eastern with one guy having gone off in the home run derby. You can't have that. You can't have that. It's got you can't. This is they got to find a way to do something. Start it earlier or something like that. I mean, Chris, our producer, was saying kids, and there's a kids element to this, but this is a little egregious here. This is a little egregious. Yeah, I do have to say I do. Yeah.
No, I think Chris is mentioning kids from to your point. They're only allowed to be up for so long. And then also you kind of swing to older folks who only want to be up for so long. And you're here on the East Coast. But see, this is where you're going to lose people.
Like right here.
And I get
this
it's
is
Barry
problem.
Bonds.
Yeah.
I get it's Albert Pujols.
They can't have this. Yeah.
But nobody cares.
Yeah,
I don't
they want to get back
think
to the
that's
action. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's really no reason for a pause right here. None.
No. And I also just, and I don't know.
We're going to do highlights? Wow.
Yeah. I don't know, Craig, who's calling the swings. I saw Hunter Pence. I saw Anthony Rizzo. But, like, you can let them give their analysis. Like, get Barry Bonds on the desk, right? Kind of thing here. What's interesting, I try and keep the broadcast volume, just like at a certain level, Craig. And Barry Bonds just said, well, I can tell you right now, welcome to the second round. We're going to find out, right? Like, would you say right now, Craig, it is a safe bet that Wilson Contreras just had one of the 4 best round one performances we saw? As someone on unders, I'm not sold on that.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's too tough. It's too tough for me. I mean, I'd be guessing. I'm not gonna throw an expert hat on that. I thought Wilson looked great. I did. I thought he looked great. After this guy goes, I'll be able to tell you what's gonna happen tonight. I think because if Walker now goes bananas, then that's it. Now Walker could have a really bad round, and now we're gonna walk it back a little and say, wait, maybe Contreras is just ready for this tonight.
Which is possible. Like I said, the over-under for most home runs in a round in the first round was 13.5. So the idea was that was a certainly gettable number what Contreras gave us. I know, by the way, every batter was plus money to homer on their first swing. So far, that's 2-0.
2-0.
Walker did it. Contreras did it. So this is right now, again, we are a fraction of the way through. This is an over-bettors event. I could have swore he got out on his first swing. Okay, fell short. Good shout out by Chris there.
So Walker
I know
has
he's
taken
locked
4
in
swings and
betting
he
up
has
there.
3 home runs. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Okay. Buckle
Yeah.
up, folks.
Yeah. Which I'll say, though, as someone who bet unders and therefore was uncertain about the format, I think right now it's on the board that we have more criticism for the presentation than the format. If guys go out there, Craig, and are all over 50% swings for home runs and we're getting guys going 490, then that's going to play, right, for fans? I mean, they're going to enjoy the heck out of that.
We're 10 minutes in. This does not look like a normal home run derby to me. I mean, everybody is just crushing it. I mean, and now I don't. Why is that happening? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I said right at the top, you don't know what balls they're using. I don't know. You know, like there's a lot of stuff in play here. They want to make this a good show, Kevin. You know. So,
yeah. I mean, it's funny, and this is where kind of the bet. You know, betting on this, and again, you keep it within reason, but logically, why wouldn't the baseballs be juiced? Why wouldn't the bats be juiced?
Of course.
Like, why wouldn't we try for 520 kind of situation?
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Now, not every, I'll just say league, I won't make it a baseball thing. Not every league does the obvious thing sitting in front of them. So, but maybe baseball has, right? Maybe just getting rid of the clock makes this all very easy for these guys, Craig.
I don't know about that. It feels kind of similar, like in terms of timing here. It's still taking a long time for them to get through. It's just everything off the bat is a bleeping rocket tonight. Like an absolute rocket.
It absolutely is.
Doesn't even look like Walker's even swinging that hard right now.
No,
just everything. I mean, he's hitting everything out like easily. So
he is.
Look, 8 home runs already.
But Craig, like the old format with the clock, guys were trying to swing before the ball would land. You know, they try and hold him.
That's
Jordan
true.
Walker is, I mean, 30 seconds in between swings here? Bat touches the plate. Like, this is long. And it's fine, but like, that is the risk that I took. Is that at no point were they going to say, hey, move it along. No. Take your time, Jordan Walker. You don't get this much time in between bats in games, obviously. You know? That's the huge change. Is guys can be more efficient if you're not going to rush them. And now we have 2 for 2 on guys going over comfortably on their prop.
I don't think it has anything to do with the clock. I personally don't. I don't know. I think something else is in play. I'm not going to accuse them of using juice balls because I have no idea, but I see batting practice every day, man. It doesn't look like this. It does not look like this.
Right.
And I see the same stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, that's totally reasonable. Even if the clock isn't the driving force of what we're seeing, I am still certainly taking note of how long we take in between each swing relative to the old way things used to look at a home run.
That is a lock as well. It's going to take way longer. I mean, here we are. We're at 8:40. We're not even through 2 guys. I mean, this is going to go till midnight tonight, man. And Netflix is loving it, by the way. Loving it. Loving it. Let's go to a break. Let's do another break.
Yeah. We're running up for a break.
We got to go to a break. Here. We're loving it.
Jordan Walker alley after. All right, guys, back here on SportsGrid following the home run derby, not just, through the odds a little bit here is what I'll say. And we've seen Walker and Contreras' odds shorten, but also I think the books are prepared for Schwarber and Caminero and these guys to have big performances. They have shrunk the price for your first swing to be a home run. They have now closed all of the round one props over under. I think now with a 2-man sample size, Craig, it seems like most guys will get to double digits here tonight in round one.
Feels like it. Yeah. Feels like it. I don't, I mean, Contreras, I believe, hit the ball much further than Walker did, but Walker had a lot more line drive home runs. But outside of the last couple swings for Walker, it seemed like he was swinging nice, free, and easy too. Contreras swinging a little bit harder there. Maybe that's part of it. Maybe something to keep in mind. I like Walker to homer tomorrow night in the All-Star game too. This is my guy to homer tomorrow night. But I do think that we're going to see a lot of inflated numbers here as well. I don't know. I don't know why or how, and this is why this event is just so unpredictable. I don't think the format has really hurt the event. I would not say, but it's still very early. It's 8:44 here on the East Coast, and we've had 2 guys go off. My son is 14. I'm going to let him stay up for this thing, but I think we're not going to really know a winner until much later on in the night.
Yeah, I think that is certainly the case. From, the betting perspective, it's interesting because there's one element of it that I feel I was on about. It's just, I think I was correct that this was going to be 6-2 one direction at worst. I was wrong that it was going to be towards the under instead of the over. I think with this format change, it was likely going to go, one direction kind of deal. Now, it's funny, and Craig has said this a few times, and he is right in that, or the first 2 guys have had great starts, right? Jack Caglione didn't homer on his first swing. We're going to continue to get more data with all of this right now. And maybe Caglione's not going to have a great, but again, even if Cags has a bad one, okay, what? We still may go 6-2 to the over instead of 7-1, right. Kind of, or 8-0 right here. This is the one, if I were to self-evaluate the process, when I saw the numbers, they looked low. So instead of saying, oh, me and the books agree, play under, maybe the idea is, but they've maybe jumped it too far. They've jumped the gun a little too much. And at the end of the day, if this format sticks around, and I think we are early doors, but trending towards more, hey, Netflix, do this, format's fine, then I'd be very interested, Craig, what the 2027 props look like. I can't help myself but wonder,
I agree. Yeah. So Caglione is the first one to struggle a little bit here, so I don't think he's going to touch the first round numbers that the others are, at least initially, from what it looks like. By the way, Contreras, his longest home run hit this season was 449 feet. The whole season. Think about what he just did in 2 minutes earlier there.
Yeah, I think what the thing was, it's not that he got a 490 shot. He had, of 13 home runs, I don't know, Craig, maybe 5 of 450 plus, right? Maybe 470 plus. He was really, I don't know, Jack Caglione just figured this whole thing out. He just figured this whole thing out. My goodness.
Where was that one?
477.
Wow.
Man, oh man. Does he have the legs? He's a 9.5 guy, Craig. Does he have the legs for it?
How many
got
left?
5
6?
swings left.
Right down to the last one.
Yeah. And we'll see if no one has actually taken advantage of the bonus yet. Contreras didn't put his last swing out. Walker did, but he didn't homer then that bonus at bat. So we haven't seen anybody We've seen a 21st swing, but we haven't seen a homer on that 21st swing. Man,
Wow,
that
Caglione went over the batter's eye too. Crazy.
Goodness me.
463. So he's got 3 swings left, 7 home runs. So he's got a homer on all 3. Or he has to take that last one to the. It's going to go right down to the end.
Yeah, but think about this, Craig. He was, I think, 1 homer in his first 10 or 9 at bats.
Yeah. Is that
so?
No. Okay, so this is it. So he's got to hit 2 home. He's got a homer back to back to go over here. He'd be the one guy to go under.
Yeah, he would be our hopefully first of many. You never know. First of many. Everyone's just gonna fall apart. Everyone's gonna fall apart thinking it's easy. It's interesting now though, having 2 guys go in between Walker. It's as if Walker was maybe trying to conserve himself a little bit, Craig, with the fact that he wasn't hitting 470. Right? Cags hit 470 plus multiple times. Obviously, Contreras. Walker kind of try to keep it simple, if you will. And obviously it worked out well enough for him.
All right, so Caglione will be out, right? That's it for him?
Yeah.
In this year's home run derby? Yeah, okay.
It would be...
without a doubt. Yeah.
Stunning if he were to advance.
Yeah, I don't
It would be stunning. Based on what we've seen. He's the first guy to go under the prop, as we met. But Craig, just to say, and of course, I don't disagree with you for what it's worth. But based on pre-tournament expectations, a number of guys were supposed to land 8-ish, right?
Yeah, Caglione was just literally right there to go over. So,
right.
Not
My point is
not under by a lot.
Ben Rice 8.5, and Harper were 8.5. Schwarber was 10.5, and then Caminero and Murakami were 9.5s. Now, again, early evidence says, bing, 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 home runs are coming. I'm just making the point that if Caglione went first, the funny thing is I'd be sitting here victory lapping. I told you all this is going to be under. Can't wait to see the next one. We'll be right back.
Step up and secure him.
Yeah, Atlanta's really interesting because they're much further down the list at only 8% right now on Kalshi, but this is a team that has constantly come up in terms of GMs thinking, or the reports suggesting that GMs are thinking that Atlanta Braves are the dark horse team to kind of swoop in there and get Skubal, and that's going to be something that we should pay attention to.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
This is the 3rd time he's been medically checked. Even the refs coming over. He's like, dude, like come on. Like after every sort of play in front of the net, the kind of goal he's done.
Yeah.
He's on the jumping. He's on the turf, like you said, like he's like driving off the top rope. Look at him here again. I give him credit. He's freaking fearless.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
The older players in the WNBA going, hey, man, we were here when they were paying us nothing. We were here when we had to go overseas to make a paycheck. You're walking in here, you don't realize how easy you have it. So there is some of that too. But yeah, Jordan got beaten up. Magic got beaten up. Bird got beaten up. Kareem got beaten up. Wemby is getting beaten up, by the way.
Outspoken with Dan Cilio, only on SportsGrid.
Class is in session. Today, let's talk about the teaser. A teaser is a multi-leg bet where you shift the point spread in your favor. You get better numbers, but every selection has to win. It doesn't matter what you bet if you don't have the insights. Tune into SportsGrid and get ahead of the class.
Okay, guys, we are back with right here on Sports Grid, and one of the contenders for American League Rookie of the Year, Murakami, is up at the dish. He's 3 homers in 8 at-bats to get this thing going. And Craig, this was actually, I don't know if we had mentioned it off the top, but Murakami was actually your other bet outside of the Caminero and Ben Rice action.
Yeah, under 112.5 on the velo, just because I've watched him play all year, and he definitely is an amazing home run hitter, but he's just got this really compact right to the ball swing, and it doesn't seem like he ever is swinging hard to me, and from what I've seen, and the balls just sort of fly out. He's in his legs a lot, so I went under on that, but I don't know where to track it. They're not showing any of that on Netflix at all. Zero.
No, I haven't seen
unless there's somewhere else. Yeah, I have no idea.
So I don't know if, like, I'm sure someone will have it. Obviously, you know, the books are going to grade. We'll see if we can find that at some point. But he's starting to pick up a little bit here. He certainly looks, Craig. He has to go 50%. He needs 4 in 8 to get through his prop. He's around it. He's around it. It's not a lock.
I'm not sure.
It would be interesting, guys, if this thing does slow up here a bit. There's some boppers coming. Obviously, you know, Schwarber and Caminero, but it certainly makes the Wilson Contreras performance now feel even more impressive the more guys we watch, right?
You know, there's something else also in play. We just have to keep in mind that you know, and I don't know element wise, but Kevin, the first 2 guys right-handed look much better than the next 2 left-handed. So just have to at least acknowledge that. And
that's absolutely true.
You know, so I don't know who. So Schwarber's lefty, Harper's lefty, Rice is lefty. Is there another righty? Am I missing someone?
I don't believe so.
So the only righties are Contreras and Walker, and that's it.
Yeah.
Oh, Caminero.
Yeah.
Caminero.
Yeah, right. Of course.
Of course. Guy picked the win. Yeah.
Yeah.
So look, maybe that's what's happening here, Kevin. We don't know. You know, I mean, Murakami's been fine. He's been fine. He just hasn't looked as good as the first 2 guys. He looks better than Caglione, but not as good as the first 2.
Yeah. And, you know, this is just me spitballing more, but maybe harder to come by home runs as the night goes on. You know, heat dips a little bit, wind changes, weather, possible, not a guarantee, possible. So Murakami, again, I don't call it, you know, it's 2+, right? We have not seen anyone take advantage of that bonus yet. Again, Walker unlocked it. He didn't homer, but Murakami is going to have to homer on this swing.
Yeah,
or he will go under.
Yeah.
Well, it's it, but now all of a sudden the books have done well in terms of the numbers on the last 2 guys. Like, it looked like we were just completely out of whack, and Murakami is going to land right around it, Craig.
Let's see what he does here. What do you got, Kevin? 50-50 here. Think he hits it out?
I'm hoping.
Caglione did not.
Get it. All right.
So that's it. So he's out too.
Yeah. So things have slowed up. We're now 2. Who would have thought, Craig? The over and unders are now 2-2.
The books always know. They always know, right? Yeah, I don't think they had a clue in this one, but I thought Murakami looked good, but you know, the balls just came off the first 2 righties so smooth and so far as a pair.
Yeah.
And it's not that Murakami hit some longer ones than Caglione, but not by a lot, you know? Like, it just kind of felt like they just weren't simply as good at this. And by the way, they did nothing wrong with what they did.
Yeah.
But the longest was 466 for him. Caglione's, I think, was 473. So
yeah, Caglione had more impressive home runs.
So did Murakami have a swing of 112.5 exit velo? Where do I
I'll
find
tell you this.
where do I find this? I'm gonna have to look somewhere.
Let me do some. Let's see what we can find here.
Where would we even find this?
I'm on Baseball Savant.
110.
Whoa!
We got a winner.
I mean, easy. Now, is that true, Chris? Because I see something that says 114. Wow. All right. Interesting.
There you go. Got a winner.
I see 114 here on Baseball Savant.
Really? I got a loser. We got a loser.
Listen, we'll see. We'll be right back right here, guys, on SportsGrid.
Atlanta should be the team to step up and secure him.
Yeah, Atlanta's really interesting because they're much further down the list at only 8% right now on Kalshi, but this is a team that has constantly come up in terms of GMs thinking, or the reports suggesting that GMs are thinking that Atlanta Braves are the dark horse team to kind of swoop in there and get Scoogle, and that's going to be something that we should pay attention to.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
This is the third time he's been medically checked. Even the refs coming over. He's like, dude, like come on. Like after every sort of play in front of the net, the kind of goal he's done. He's
stop jumping.
He's on the turf, like you said, like he's like driving off the top rope. Look at him here again. I give him credit. He's freaking fearless.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
The older players in the WNBA going, hey, man, we were here when they were paying us nothing. We were here when we had to go overseas to make a paycheck. You're walking in here, you don't realize how easy you have it. So there is some of that too. But yeah, Jordan got beaten up. Magic got beaten up. Bird got beaten up. Kareem got beaten up. Wemby is getting beaten up, by the way.
Outspoken with Dan Sileo, only on SportsGrid.
Class is in session. Today, let's talk about the teaser. A teaser is a multi-leg bet where you shift the point spread in your favor. You get better numbers, but every selection has to win. It doesn't matter what you bet if you don't have the insights. Tune into SportsGrid and get ahead of the class.
Okay, guys, good update here. I think Ben Rice is up next, but FanDuel went and posted round one over-unders. They diagnosed Craig, and they have 12.5 as the number now for Caminero, Harper, and Schwarber. Which is funny, though, because is that an overreaction after now seeing what Cags and Murakami did?
It's probably middling a little. I don't know. Doesn't feel like that.
Yeah.
Feels like middling a little bit. I still would like to see Caminero go here. What's Caminero's number? 12.5. I wish I would have went over on that.
But it was 9.5, Craig. They reposted.
Oh, it was 9.5. Oh, I see.
It was 9.5. Yeah, if you guys want, you can flash up. Especially since I'm not going to lose every single one of these. My CVS receipt list, just to show the people what everyone's number was for the home run receipts here. Yes, exactly.
Let me take a look. Keep that up there for a minute. Keep that up there.
I was just doing what I could for the people. So you'll see there, for the most part, we were 9.5s, a few 8.5s on Harper and Contreras.
I would say you'll probably, with the juice you get killed probably tonight, but I think just generally you'll probably win one more than you lose from this. If Schwarber wins, it's a big win, by the way. Schwarber, that's the one. If Schwarber doesn't win, you're going to lose today.
Yeah, I'm more so at this point, Craig, hoping if I go 3-5 on the round one over unders,
I think it could be split. No, I think you could split.
Yeah,
no, I think you could split. Yeah. Oh, you see those gloves they're giving away? I have that. I actually have that. I'll see if I can find that during the break. Yep. I'll grab it during the break. From the Texas one.
Oh, they give them out every
From
year.
They give out those big gloves every year. I definitely have it not far from me. I'll have to, during the next break, see if I can locate it.
Pretty cool.
Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah. We I'm trying to think. We did not catch a home run in that. I don't think we even caught a ball in that. I think my son opted to use his actual glove. He thought that it just didn't feel right in his hand. But all right, so Ben Rice is up. Ben Rice also an MVP candidate this season. He's having a great year, and kind of stunning without Judge to see somebody step up like this, Kevin. And I can only imagine if Judge comes back and is Judge, that the two of these guys should help them quite a bit as they get to the postseason. Now, I'm surprised that Ben Rice is going to have a 50 home run season. How about you?
Yeah, I mean, you and I had some, I think insightful conversations as to early season, how the perception around Ben Rice has changed. In early season, as Rice does not home run swing one, he was a guy the Yankees weren't allowing to hit versus lefties. And, you very reasonably were like, yeah, there's only a handful of guys that stay in the lineup. And obviously he's, developed into that and what have you. I'll tell you my worry as a fan, strictly, Craig, is the Judge injury will justify to the Yankees internally, they don't need a major addition to the lineup because they're going to get Judge back. And I don't think that's true.
Yeah,
I have
it's a fair
while
point.
wanted this team to make a move but let me ask you this, Craig. How many, if any, big bats would you say there are on the market?
Well, right now, none, because everybody feels like they're in it. So let's kind of go through it here. So do the A's have a big bat available? Because I think they're now out of it. Do the Rockies trade Mickey Moniak? That's a fairly decent bat that I think that they could end up moving because he's probably not part of their future. So those are two teams. Kevin,
Let me go back to the A's quickly. Let me go back to the A's quickly.
Yeah.
If they go selling, that's the thing. Kurtz, no. Langoliers?
No.
Soderstrom?
No, I don't think so. No.
Okay, so then
no.
They're sellers with nothing to sell.
Yeah, I think you got to look at like expiring contracts first on July 15th or whatever we are, and then like later in the time start to speculate others. So if those two teams don't have much, and we know Kansas City really doesn't have a lot, and they're done, right? They're pretty much out of it. The Giants, that's the team that has like players to move, right? Luis Arias, Matt Chapman, if somebody will take him. Like I think I don't know how you feel about those guys. No, I don't think so. Then it's a total rebuild if they go that direction. And by the way, who could take on that deal? Very few teams too. So we've identified like 3 teams. Who else would you say, Kevin, is like completely out of the mix? Like who's out of like the American League? You can't get. I don't think so. I think they still are in. They're hoping for an 8-game winning streak.
I think that's
the American League. You can't eliminate anyone.
The Angels, 38 and 59.
Okay, yes, absolutely, yes, fair. So that's the team maybe with a couple of guys to go. That could be the team that even with guys that are still under contract for years you could see. But Kevin, look at this exercise we just had. We couldn't really come up with anyone in the middle of July here. That's going to be hard. Well, everyone feels like they're in it.
But I think the issue goes beyond just feeling like you're in it, is that let's use the Mets and Royals as examples. They know they're out of it. The problem is when you're out of it this early, you only have a handful of attractive guys. And more often than not, you want to keep those guys. Bobby Witt and Juan Soto aren't on the market. If they were, oh, wow. I imagine a handful of teams would move heaven and earth to bring. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you would say Soto's complicated with the money. You could speak to that certainly better than I could. But Bobby Witt's probably one of the 5 most valuable hitters you could possibly imagine seeing the market. The Royals could lose out. They're not putting him on the market. So I think that's, like you mentioned, the A's, who have some interesting bats. But if none of them are for sale, it just doesn't matter then.
Yeah, 2 years from now, the A's are going to have to be very serious about competing when they move into that new park. They're going to have to show a lot. Now, they've shown quite a bit by extending some of their guys that were young, yes, but you can't move into a brand new park and drop. How many games in a row have they lost now? Is it 9, something like that?
Yep, 9 straight.
Like that can't happen. They just fired their pitching coach today. So I think it will be easier for us to revisit this conversation in a week or two. I do, much easier.
Mm-hmm.
But I still think, as you take a look at the American League and ask yourself, is Boston in it? Is Baltimore in it? Is Houston in it? Like if I could answer and eliminate those 3, I could start to give you some guys here, but
right.
They kind of feel like they're alive. Like I just watched Seattle play in Miami, and Julio didn't play in that series. But Kevin, they looked awful, and give credit to the Marlins, but Seattle looked awful. Like they have no business winning that division, So American League is just so wide open.
Here are the list of teams more than 5 games out. Actually, more than 4 games out of the wild card. A's, Royals, Angels, Reds, Giants, Mets, Rockies. It's only 7 teams.
Right, and that's
how many more are you even going to really add? Like, as much as we'll probably add some, but it seemed like the Tigers if the Tigers are getting rid of Screwball, then at that point, who isn't for sure? You could argue.
Right, Kerry Carpenter, like there could be other guys there. Everyone loves these trade conversations, and I think they're fun to have. And when you ask questions like this, you get boring people like me saying we got to wait, but we truly do, Kevin. This is an anomaly type year where everybody still remains in it in the American League. You can't like Kevin. Houston is going nowhere. They're not good. They're definitely, even if they were to somehow sneak in, they're not going to get past the first round. They have no pitching. They have all old hitters. Half the guys are on the injured list for them, but they feel like they're in it because they're a couple games out.
Yeah. Ben Rice is out. I'll tell you that. Finished with 7, our lowest performance yet.
Step up and secure him.
Yeah, Atlanta's really interesting because they're much further down the list at only 8% right now on Kalshi, but this is a team that has constantly come up in terms of GMs thinking, or the reports suggesting that GMs are thinking that Atlanta Braves are the dark horse team to kind of swoop in there and get Scoogle, and that's going to be something that we should pay attention to.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
This is the 3rd time he's been medically checked. Even the refs coming over. He's like, dude, like come on. Like after every sort of play in front of the net, the kind of goal he's done. He's on the
jumping.
He's on the turf, like you said, like he's like driving off the top rope. Look at him here again. I give him credit. He's freaking fearless.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
The older players in the WNBA going, hey, man, we were here when they were paying us nothing. We were here when we had to go overseas to make a paycheck. You're walking in here, you don't realize how easy you have it. So there is some of that too. But yeah, Jordan got beaten up. Magic got beaten up. Bird got beaten up. Kareem got beaten up. Wemby is getting beaten up, by the way.
Outspoken with Dan Cilio, only on SportsGrid.
Class is in session. Today, let's talk about the teaser. A teaser is a multi-leg bet where you shift the point spread in your favor. You get better numbers, but every selection has to win. It doesn't matter what you bet if you don't have the insights. Tune into SportsGrid and get ahead of the class.
All right, guys, back in the right here on SportsGrid. And a truly unintentional reverse jinx where the first two guys went nuclear. And I said, as Caminero goes deep on his first, that this may go 8-0 to the over. We've had 3 straight unders now, Craig, here at Home Run Derby 2026.
Yeah, and all lefties. So this will sort that out right here, unless you really believe strongly in Caminero. But thus far, books are adjusting, and I mean, this is part of it, trying to guess which way it's going to go throughout. But no question, the first couple guys just looked way better than the next 2 or next 3.
Yeah, but you mentioned kind of the righty-lefty split of it all. Certainly going to be interesting. Caminero, though, if he has a huge performance, is that because he's righty or because he's Caminero? Right? It's kind of in the eye of the beholder.
That's fair too. Yeah, that's fair too. Yeah.
I think we mentioned it on air, but they posted 12.5s for the remaining 3 guys: Caminero, Harper, Schwarber. So I certainly will be judging them on the numbers I bet, but I'll be curious how they go now to those reposted numbers here. We officially can eliminate Ben Rice. We certainly expect to be eliminating Caglione. Maybe Murakami could squeak in at 9. Maybe. But things are right now set up pretty well so far for Caminero. 477.
Oh no, 477. Wow. Yeah, I think Caminero will advance.
Yeah, he's off to a good start.
Again,
he's got 5 home
win,
runs and 8 swings.
I got to have one of my bets come in today.
Yeah, I think Caminero advancing is very likely. I think one of the Phillies certainly will advance. It'd be stunning if one of the Phillies didn't advance. But here's the deal. It's actually a bit of a high bar of entry. If you look at it for these last 3 guys, Caminero, Harper, and Schwarber, you're going to need 10 to get in, and that may not be enough.
Well, Caminero's got 7 with a lot of swings.
That's my point.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he's getting in. He's too good at this.
Yeah, Caminero looks like he's going to get in. He may push for that first guy to hit 14, though. We haven't seen that yet, right? Long home run.
Foul.
We've been talking, through some exit velo stuff on the show here as well. Ben Rice, and it happens every year. It happens every year. Someone has an awful performance. Ben Rice was that guy this year, Craig. It's fine. It happens.
Yeah, he was.
But
he was like Jazz. Remember Jazz was in it one year? What was that?
Yeah. Shout out Jazz, man. What a guy.
Was that last year? No. It was. He was so bad.
Shout out Jazz.
Was Jazz the worst one of all home run derby? Probably, right?
Of all time? Probably not.
No, but I don't know. In recent years.
Yeah. But Ben Rice didn't even give us, Craig, like he didn't get one 450, like he didn't have any lasers. It just didn't have it. Didn't have the swing.
The same, man. It happens. It's not easy.
Caminero's at 9 right now with 4 to go. So again, he had a 9.5 number. Certainly expect him to zoom through that. But that reposted 12.5 is on shaky footing. Whew, that might be our longest home run of the night.
That was deep center.
479. Wow. I'm not sure.
That was a crazy catch by the fan there.
Did they stop counting after the fan caught it? Because I'm not so sure about 479 on that other one, man. Goodness me. So for Caminero, and I think that's going to go, getting to 14 is big because, incredibly, getting to 12 doesn't guarantee anything with the 2 Phillies behind him, Craig.
No. Yeah, no, that's true. So, I mean, I think it's fair to say we're going to get Caminero and then the first 2 guys. How many advanced in the second round, Kevin? Is it 4?
I believe 4.
So,
I actually think this is going to fall short.
Oh, Caminero got 12? Oh, wow. Oh, let's see.
Oh, no, that didn't get out?
think
Nobody
so.
knows. I think they're saying foul ball. So that means Caminero, again, pre-flop, it's very funny, should be fine. But at 12, he's not a lock. Because, like, it's 2 Phillies behind him. Now, pre-tournament, you would think he's completely fine. Right? At 12, you thought that's a great performance. But Contreras and Walker at 13 a pop are both now into the next round. Caglione, Murakami, and Rice are all but eliminated.
Yes.
Cags and Rice are officially eliminated. Caminero and Murakami are kind of waiting to see here now. And it actually
I want to see a replay on the last one, Kevin. Did that go like what? I don't get it. Are we just
nobody could tell. Very funny.
They're not even showing it, are they?
They have understandably reposted Caminero as the favorite because their thought is he's going to advance. And there are still some valid questions on Schwarber and Harper advancing.
Right. So one would assume one of the 2 Phillies jumps in with those 3. Is that what we're going to guess here?
Yeah, I think both Phillies are going to get to 10. I think Bryce is going to take ages. That's my expectation. I think Bryce is going to be like 40 seconds in between swings.
And Murakami was at what number? What number? He's at 9?
9.
So basically, as long as somebody gets to 10 here, that knocks out Murakami. Okay. Yeah, I think that seems feasible for one of the.
Yeah.
So they called that.
I would agree with you.
Foul. I thought Caminero hit 13. I thought that last one was a home run. But listen, if they're not going to be hitting us with replays or anything, then there's nothing we can do.
Yeah, it's tough to tell, right? Because the replays, you're like, that's a home run. Well, is that the swing? Is that not the swing? We've got some good drama building, though. The Phillies trying to crack into the semis after the break right here on SportsGrid.
Step up and secure him.
Yeah, Atlanta's really interesting because they're, much further down the list at only, 8% right now on Kalshi, but this is a team that has constantly come up in terms of GMs thinking, or the reports suggesting that GMs are thinking that Atlanta Braves are the dark horse team to kind of swoop in there and get Skubal, and that's going to be something that, we should pay attention to.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
This is the 3rd time he's been medically checked. Even the refs coming over. He's like, dude, like come on. Like after every sort of play in front of the net, the kind of goal he's done.
Yeah.
He's
stop jumping.
He's on the turf, like you said, like he's like driving off the top rope. And look at him here again. I give him credit. He's freaking fearless.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
The older players in the WNBA going, hey, man, we were here when they were paying us nothing. We were here when we had to go overseas to make a paycheck. You're walking in here, you don't realize how easy you have it. So there is some of that too. But yeah, Jordan got beaten up. Magic got beaten up. Bird got beaten up. Kareem got beaten up. Wemby is getting beaten up, by the way.
Outspoken with Dan Sileo, only on SportsGrid.
Class is in session. Today, let's talk about the teaser. A teaser is a multi-leg bet where you shift the point spread in your favor. You get better numbers, but every selection has to win. It doesn't matter what you bet if you don't have the insights. Tune into SportsGrid and get ahead of the class.
So Kyle Schwarber did not hit a home run on any of his first 5 swings. Kyle Schwarber has followed that up with 4 home runs in 4 swings. So midway through, as he just missed one, is now at 4 home runs through 10. I don't think Schwarber now is in any type of a good position to advance. He, unfortunately for me, as someone who bet him to win this, is in danger of going over his round 1 prop and not making the semifinals, which is crazy.
It's
he
hot
had
now.
The highest round 1 prop of anyone, Craig. Yeah, but Craig, 11 could get him in, but I am live now. Like, I'm almost now wondering why I didn't bet Bryce Harper, type of thing. I know I bet NL and Kyle.
I wouldn't. You shouldn't feel like that. That's not. No, I mean, you assume. Look, Schwarber's been so good at this. He's always moved on.
You know what? You know where Harper really won me over, Craig? I don't know if you had caught it when he walked out into the little wrestling ring they had and stood on one of the ropes. Told me guy was locked in. That's what it told me. So Schwarber now is at 7 with 5 to play. So he actually has to homer out, basically, in order to tie Caminero. I think this is going to be tough for me. Maybe he'll get to the semis, but yeah, I guess if he gets to the semis, it is what it is. This is an interesting spot. I think I'd like for him to land 10. I think that'd be my dream tally here, Craig. I think he might get over 10.
Yeah.
I think he might get over 10.
You could come down to Harper. Good drama having Harper needing to beat out either Caminero or his teammate, maybe, right? Probably his teammate.
Yeah,
what number
that's what it looks like.
And Caminero was 12, correct?
Yes. So Caminero's in. Caminero, assuming Schwarber doesn't hit like 6 bonus home runs, but we've not seen that yet.
You never know. That's gone.
So Schwarber sitting on 10, over under 10.5, Craig. So
that's a tight number.
I know. He's completely flushed out Murakami. He's flushed out Murakami. But now, basically the question is, what type of room does Schwarber give himself here on Bryce?
Yeah, I don't know. This is it. He's got 1 swing left. He's got 10 home runs. We're watching along with everybody here, trying not to get ahead of ourselves. But he's taking a lot of time. And
he didn't get it. Oh, that's fantastic.
All right. Fantastic. So Caminero moves on. Okay. Thank God.
Yes.
Have nothing to watch tonight. All right.
I like the idea, Craig, that you were going to refuse to watch the rest of this. If Caminero
I'm gonna because I'm okay, I'll tell you the truth. A lot of our shows when we do the World Cup, if the game is not exciting, I would end and I would just be like, all right, somebody will just tell me what happened. But I'm gonna watch the end of the home run derby for sure. When we're off the air, 30 minutes, I'm gonna watch the end. Definitely. I still will watch no matter what.
Schwarber gets to 10. And here's the interesting thing after all of that. And it's funny, I've now ended up incredibly wrong. We're at 4-3 on these totals to the under. Unless Bryce goes under, these are going to split. I thought it was going to be stark one way or another, and I was positive after watching Contreras and Walker, Craig. And instead, we're at 4-3 to the under. Bryce needs 10 to get into a swing off with Kyle, 11 to advance, 9 is going to be no good. From a rooting interest, it would be better for me if Kyle advanced than Bryce, especially because Schwarber hit 10 home runs in 15 when you realize he didn't hit a home run in his first 5 at-bats. I think Schwarber is the more dangerous of the bunch here. But, man, listen, not a from what we've seen, Craig, not an easy marker for Bryce Harper to necessarily burst through here. But we're going to run up against a quick break, guys. It's funny, some early and I think deserved frustrations with the format, but we're basically going to get all around one in for you here on Home Run Derby 2026.
Should be the team to step up and secure him.
Yeah, Atlanta's really interesting because they're much further down the list at only 8% right now on Kalshi, but this is a team that has constantly come up in terms of GMs thinking, or the reports suggesting that GMs are thinking that Atlanta Braves are the dark horse team to kind of swoop in there and get Skubal, and that's going to be something that we should pay attention to.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
This is the third time he's been medically checked. Even the refs coming over. He's like, dude, like come on. Like after every sort of play in front of the net, the kind of goal he's done.
Yeah.
He's
stop
on
jumping.
He's on the turf, like you said, like he's like driving off the top rope. Look at him here again. I give him credit. He's freaking fearless.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
The older players in the WNBA going, hey, man, we were here when they were paying us nothing. We were here when we had to go overseas to make a paycheck. You're walking in here, you don't realize how easy you have it. So there is some of that too. But yeah, Jordan got beaten up. Magic got beaten up. Bird got beaten up. Kareem got beaten up. Wemby is getting beaten up, by the way.
Outspoken with Dan Cilio, only on SportsGrid.
Class is in session. Today, let's talk about the teaser. A teaser is a multi-leg bet where you shift the point spread in your favor. You get better numbers, but every selection has to win. It doesn't matter what you bet if you don't have the insights. Tune into SportsGrid and get ahead of the class.
All right, guys, back here on SportsGrid, and Harper is behind pace relative to averages, but he's actually ahead of where Kyle was. It's just that Schwarber really, really turned things on here. That one gets out. It's going to be tight. Again, his over-under was 8.5.
Very tight.
It's going to be tight, Craig.
Very tight. I mean, he's going to have to knock Schwarber out. That's the thing here.
He knows how to find some rhythm. Now, I think I loosely heard on the broadcast, Craig, that the guy pitching to him was with him at the World Baseball Classic, but he's a Dodger. He had
to ask permission for somebody with the Dodgers. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that guy was with the Phillies too. I have no idea. I heard that. Okay. I remember his dad throwing to him. That I remember. That guy with the big beard.
That's actually like what I was kind of
really big guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So from I think the World Baseball Classic there. So Harper, more than halfway in. Is that 4 home runs? Yeah.
See, I told you don't feel bad. I told you not to feel bad about that. Like, you don't know what's going to happen with this stuff. Yeah.
No, I think you were right. Let me ask you this, Craig. Philadelphia faithful tonight. Rooting more for Schwarber or Harper? I know the answer is both, but between the two.
I don't know. Schwarber's a very lovable guy, but Harper's their favorite, probably. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. I think they'll be happy either way. I mean, for them not to get either Philly into the next round would be a disaster. A disaster.
It would have been a disaster.
Yeah. To win, you never know about to win. But to not get past the first round would have been.
Yeah. Can I get an
Disaster.
updated total, boys in the back, on the round one number here and how you guys are doing? I believe 74.5 was the posted. Went over. All right. So good for those guys in the back. And it went over because of really dragged by 3 great performances. But I guess I shouldn't say that because the unders were not vicious. Murakami was by the hook. Schwarber was by the hook. Rice was a mess, but his was 8.5. And again, Caglione was, finished at 8. His was 9.5, right? So those were, as long as you got multiple pop-offs, it went through. What is interesting, Craig, and just kind of betting, there has not been a single home run off of this you can swing until you're done thing. Not one. They thought that was going to be, a little bonus here. I think the only guy who maybe homered on his last swing was Jordan Walker, incredibly. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Rice is going to clear the 8.5. That's all right. I thought I was going to sneak it out, Craig. I was pretty pumped.
You're going to sneak another one in.
Yeah, I thought we were going to get 5 and 3 under. I think it's going to land 500, which is fine.
That's fine. That's fine. Kidding me? Come on. You had a good time. It wasn't terrible.
Yeah.
It could have went either
No,
way.
we'll take it. Yeah, we stayed in the mix. So Harper here, and it would be amazing if it happens. If he homers on this, he goes again. If he doesn't go on this, we go 5 and 3 to the under.
That's great.
And he does not get it.
Wow, how about that?
Like I
Late
said,
rally.
guys, this is an
0 and
under
2 to
event.
start.
Nothing to worry about. Nothing to worry about.
Hey, can we say one thing here that's obvious
Say
at this point? Caminero or
Yeah.
not? A righty's going to win this.
I mean,
3 of the 4 guys are right-handed. Something's going on. Come on, those 3 guys are that much better than the ones we saw? Something. Wilson Contreras is better than what we just saw?
Wilson Contreras had the best first round of anybody, which is still
Right,
hard to
that's what I'm
wrap my
saying.
head around.
Yeah, I mean, come on. And Walker probably the second best. And Caminero
Here's
the
my
third.
only pause. And of course, I know it's going to sound like, because you're
Oh,
on
no,
Schwarber.
Harper's kid's crying? Oh, no, that's bad.
Oh, hang in there, buddy. He's already won one. Don't worry about it. Uncle Kyle's still going. Schwarber did hit 10 home runs in 15 at-bats. So that's my only thing, is he got on that same trajectory that those other guys did. So I wonder if nerves, whatever it was, if it was anybody other than Schwarber, Craig, I would be like, yeah, it's clear. But it's a good point by you. 3 out of the 4, you maxed on lefties, which is interesting. Or righties, excuse me. Like the maximum amount of righties you did get. We're split in terms of AL, NL.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I'm just happy that I made it to 9:35 here on the show, being alive with something here on the. Usually I just have the guys pick the bet. I hate to say it, some of the baseball stuff I try to stay away from it. So I'll talk to some of our producers and just say, hey, throw me a good one here for tonight, because I'm just very cognizant of that. But for tonight, I put mine own in. Tonight, I was like, I'm on this home run derby tonight. Nobody gives a crap what's going on with this. There's no inside information. There's nothing to be had. I'm just my opinion. Home run derby all-star game. It was my pick, Caminero. In fact, when I did the show last week, I don't remember who it was, with Ranieri, or Tom. It was Vecchio. I was like, when I do the show, I'm picking Caminero to win the home run derby. And I don't know. Yep. I mean, Wilson Contreras looks like the main dude in this thing right now, so I could be wrong.
Wilson Contreras has literally not been on screen for an hour.
More than that. It took them an hour and 40 minutes to get through the first round. An hour and 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh my God. This event has never been straight 2 hours. I know that. It's never been, because I've been to this a million times. But it's like, 2:05, 2:10 in, you're like, it's wrapping, that's not happening today. Like, there's no chance of that. We're hitting 11 on the East Coast, I think, with this.
Yeah, I think so. But I came in pessimistic
And it wasn't
I
as
thought
bad.
that was an enjoyable first round. I thought that was an enjoy, and that is
Totally
not
fine.
because
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Like my favorite round was Contreras. You know what I mean? Like that's not a I'm so glad I won money thing. The Schwarber Harper little drama worked out. It didn't feel gimmicky. It felt good. Like it's actually pretty easy to understand. Like sometimes with the time, you know what? In a way, Craig too. I think I'd rather 25-second breaks in between swings than the 1 minute pause, get him a Gatorade and a towel that we used to do. Like I'm good with the pacing of this right now. I know it's taking long, but like you said, it always takes long.
Yeah,
Caminero's the live favorite, for me, by the way. Sorry, just to
is he
add.
the live?
He's the live
no,
favorite.
it's okay.
With Schwarber advancing, though, Craig. With Schwarber advancing, he's the live favorite.
Look, I'm not going to go off my pick or pivot. What is Caminero's odds? He's plus still, right? Got to be plus.
Plus 160. Schwarber plus 210. Contreras plus 370. Walker plus 430.
Wow. Tempted to take Walker, to be honest with you. It's like big odds. Like, what did you not see from that guy in the first round? He looked good to me.
He also seemed like the guy
what's the big differentiator in the first round?
Least
nothing. Yeah, it was
right.
Just like,
Wouldn't you?
That's what was shocking. I am telling you, something was up with the righties today. Definitely.
But I actually, it's funny. The only guy who feels like he can't win this to me is Contreras, despite the fact he had the best opening.
I had no business thinking that guy had any chance of moving to the second round. None. If you gave me all the field, I would have picked him last. The one I would have picked right above him would have been Caglione, just because he's never done it and he was like a strange add to this. You know, when someone's, I mean, honestly, outside of Pete Alonso, Kevin, the guys to me that join that are not in the All-Star game always give me a little pause because I'm kind of like, what are you doing? You know, what are you going there for?
Yeah. All right, quick break, guys. We're going to get to the semis. Home Run Derby next.
Atlanta should be the team to step up and secure him.
Yeah, Atlanta's really interesting because they're, much further down the list at only, 8% right now on Kalshi, but this is a team that has constantly come up in terms of GMs thinking, or the reports suggesting that GMs are thinking that Atlanta Braves are the dark horse team to kind of swoop in there and get Skubal, and that's going to be something that, we should pay attention to.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
This is the third time he's been medically checked. Even the refs coming over. He's like, dude, like come on. Like after every sort of play in front of the net, the kind of goal he's done.
Yeah.
He's
stop jumping.
He's on the turf, like you said, like he's like driving off the top rope. Look at him here again. I give him credit. He's freaking fearless.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
The older players in the WNBA going, hey, man, we were here when they were paying us nothing. We were here when we had to go overseas to make a paycheck. You're walking in here, you don't realize how easy you have it. So there is some of that too. But yeah, Jordan got beaten up. Magic got beaten up. Bird got beaten up. Kareem got beaten up. Wemby is getting beaten up, by the way.
Outspoken with Dan Cilio, only on SportsGrid.
Class is in session. Today, let's talk about the teaser. A teaser is a multi-leg bet where you shift the point spread in your favor. You get better numbers, but every selection has to win. It doesn't matter what you bet if you don't have the insights. Tune into SportsGrid and get ahead of the class.
Okay, guys, back right here on SportsGrid, and we're kind of figuring it out as we go along. So this thing breaks off into a bracket now, and that means we're going to get Contreras against Schwarber, and we're going to get Caminero against Walker. Now that does explain.
Wait, so
Caminero's the
Schwarber
favorite.
against who? I'm sorry? Schwarber against who? Oh, I like Contreras. I like Contreras now. I'm flipping. So I like Contreras to beat Schwarber, and I still like Caminero to win.
Is that the righty? Or
I'm going to play that. I'm playing that card. I'm playing that card tonight. I'm playing that card.
Okay, sticking with the righties.
My eyes. I'm just going with my eyes. Nothing else. Taking a shot. Oh, no. Come on, Caminero. First swing, you foul the ball off with your feet? That was like the worst hit of anybody tonight. Come on, man.
Ground out. It's panic time.
We didn't even make it past the plate.
Panic time. It's a full panic time in South Beach, man.
Oh, my gosh. Did that go out?
Oh, no. Didn't haul that in. Great catch, but didn't haul that in. I will say the righties went 13, 13, 12. So that's 40 home runs between 3 righties. How many did 5 lefties combine for? 8, 9, 17, 24, 34, 42. So the lefties with 2 extra guys only had 2 more home runs. Whew. It was a righties. Something there, Craig. Listen, I hear you.
I don't even know that ballpark plays at all either way, but that's what happened in the first round. This is trouble here for Caminero, though. He's not doing very well.
Slower start. Well, here's what I don't think is, and I actually don't like this. And it's because of the bracket. But Caminero swinging again, Craig, where I understand they're trying to reward the most home runs, but Caminero is going to swing 40 times before Wilson Contreras. Wilson Contreras is going to swing last in this round.
What is it? Why
I think it's going to go
at that? Swinging an inside pitch? Like what's going on here?
I think the word I'm going to have to do the final segment alone. Craig's going to rage quit. He's going to rage quit.
Like everything is up and in, and he just keeps swinging at it. Just take the damn pitch. You don't have to swing at it.
By the way, behind the scenes, they told us.
What do we got? 3 swings left? Oh, my God.
8.5 were the prop lines here, Craig, for this round. So, I don't know. Do you think this is fatigue?
I don't know. Maybe. He's just popping everything straight up.
You're over it? Craig's over it.
I mean, as long as he gets to how many swings? 1 swing left? I got my camera here. That's why I keep shifting my head. It's blocking the TV. I'm like Bryce Harper's kid. I'm going to hug him and cry after it's over. Come on, Junior.
I think it's on the board that top 5 angriest you've been at baseball last 6 years was Caminero's first swing this round. I think it's on the board.
Very disappointed. He's out. He's done. I'm done. All right, guys, it's been great. Listen, I've always said that England was my pick in the World Cup. I've said it a million times. I'm just
kidding. They do now have Jordan Walker as the favorite for this whole thing. Plus 175, plus 160, 5-1 for Caminero. To some degree,
it's got no chance.
All right,
5 home runs. 5.
Walker hasn't been out here in an hour and 20 minutes. You think he's fresh? Might be spent.
Caminero. Caminero was walking out there like Conor McGregor. Man, this is very disappointing.
Oh wow. They paid you.
I'm very disappointed. He really used all. I don't know. I thought the pitches were bad, by the way, too. Like he was swinging at pitches that when I saw the pitches come in, I'm like, he is not going to hit that for a home run, and he was swinging at it.
Keeping patience in this, I assume, is easier
You know
said
who the
than
best
done.
is? You know who the best guy was throwing in the history of the home run derby?
Oh, there is like
No.
an answer to this. Who?
There, Robinson Cano's dad.
Oh, wow.
That guy was
I love Bobby
insane.
Cano.
I don't
Big
know what
Robbie
his name
Cano
is.
guy, Craig. Big
Jesus
Robbie Cano
Cano,
guy.
maybe?
Yanks should have paid him. Don't you think the Yanks should have paid him all those years ago?
Yeah,
Still had
well,
plenty
it
of good
turns out-
seasons left in him.
He got popped for steroids, though.
Well, I mean, it wasn't immediate. I think he still played like 5 years after that.
Yeah, you're right.
Just saying. All right, you're not a big Robinson Cano guy.
I
It
like
is what it
Robinson
is.
Cano. It was when the trade that they made with him was the one that was like, was it him with Edwin Diaz, or was Seattle was involved? Something. I
Yeah.
don't
When the
remember.
Mets traded for Edwin Diaz and Robinson Cano, and there was
Right.
the big
And
debate
then
of
they
was it
gave
a
up
Cano
this
trade or was it a
Kelenic.
Diaz
Oh my
trade?
gosh.
Oh,
Yeah, Jared Kelenic. He's been on like a zillion teams. I think he was on the Braves this year.
this is why prospects, for the most part, very overrated. This Lombard, I'd send him out. You want
Hey,
him?
take it easy. Whoa, take it easy.
No,
take it
come
easy there.
on, come on.
Don't be knocking Lombard. Which Lombard are we knocking?
Whatever the good one is supposed to be for the Yankees, like the
good
20th
one?
prospect in baseball.
What do you mean? His brother just got drafted 14th overall. The Marlins took
All
him.
right, I'll tell you.
You were on the
okay.
cruise. You were on the cruise.
Craig, I could have been inside the war room. I would have known who the Marlins drafted at 14th overall.
Jacob Lombard, his brother.
All right, so you're big on Jacob Lombard. I'll tell you what.
I'm big on all the Lombards.
You can have both Lombards. Send Otto Lopez to the Bronx.
Oh, can't have him. Can't have him.
No, all right.
I don't know.
All right.
I don't know. No one since Ken Griffey Jr. has ever won a home run derby wearing a backwards hat. I'm just saying, Jordan Walker, some trouble here.
Uh oh. Walker's on
Oh
upset
my
alert
gosh, he
live.
looks so good. No, he looks so good right now.
Be right back. Okay, guys, back right here on SportsGrid. It is in-game live, our final segment of the night. It's been great to be with you guys here for Home Run Derby coverage. You'll have to handle the final on your own. Kevin Walsh and Craig Mish. Junior Caminero eliminated by Jordan Walker in a tough beat for Walker, round 2 bettors, as he only needed 6 to advance. He got there. Oh my gosh! Did you just see what they just showed? Left. No.
They just showed that he won it. A graphic that he won it. They just showed 2026 Home Run Derby champion. I swear to you, they just showed it on the screen. Am I wrong, Chris? Did you see that?
I saw it.
Can you rewind it?
Bottom left.
Yes. Yes. It's just that he won the championship.
Jinx or fix, Craig? What's your take? He's minus 120 to win this tournament.
Jinx, I would hope. How do they didn't, I mean, they have the graphics pre-made, I guess. Oh my gosh.
This is going to be, but by the way, just for anybody who doesn't know, they posted round 2 over-unders at 8.5. Walker would have got there, but didn't need to. Stop swinging. Kyle Schwarber is going to swing next, Craig. How do you feel about Schwarber versus Contreras?
Contreras, I'll stick with the righties here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep, I'm going to stick with. Look. If Walker's first round was an indicator of his second round, then Contreras' first round should be an indicator of his second round as well. Yeah. Now, the Schwarber has the possibility of getting hotter than anybody at this. That I know. But I'm going to. I didn't love what I saw from Schwarber in that first round.
Yeah, I just thought he started super, super slow. However, I have no real reason to think Contreras can't be fantastic. Walker was rested. He was fine. Contreras will be the same. So I do like that Netflix has somehow decided that they needed to pump the brakes. Like, we had a good pace going, Craig, I thought, and now we're it's a little bit of time here in between.
It's not going to be as bad as I thought. It's not going to be as bad as I thought. I think we're looking at a 2.5 hour event. It's not horrible. You can deal with that. And there for them, they'll probably do a 30-minute post-game show, I would guess, too. But in terms of action, 2.5 feels probably right.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
That's not bad.
Craig,
that's not bad.
Just before we get out of here, can you just give some early thoughts heading into tomorrow's All-Star game? You will be live for it right here on SportsGrid, I believe, alongside Joe Ranieri.
Yeah, it's silly to make the National League minus 140. It's an All-Star game. You have no idea what's going to happen, and so it's just blindly taking plus is what I would have there. I'm going to be on Ernie Clement to get more than one hit. That was one of my selections for tomorrow. Based on tonight, you should just fade that. But again, I think that the celebration of Mike Trout returning to Philadelphia and John Schneider leading him off, I think, was a really nice touch, so he could get the proper ovation that he deserved, because there's simply a chance that he never plays in Philadelphia ever. May not ever play there again. You don't know. I mean, he's been hurt so much. The Angels are going to go to Philadelphia once every other year in interleague play. And I don't think Trout's ever going to be on the move. At least it doesn't appear that way, because Artie Moreno doesn't want to trade him, I don't think, and Mike Trout doesn't want to go anywhere. So to me, it's a nice celebration for him, because you could say, Kevin, that while we're very partial to Aaron Judge, understanding how good he has been, winning all these MVPs, the last 15 years of baseball, the best player in the game, even though the last 3 or 4 years has not been Mike Trout. Mike Trout, Hall of Famer, best guy to do it, best player we've seen do it, always a class guy. Never any controversy, never any issues, only just wanted to play the game. And he's on the back nine, Kevin, this is it. He's coming down to the last 2 or 3 years of his career. He's just not been able to stay healthy at all, stay on the field at all. So to me, that's where I'm at for tomorrow night. Looking forward to that.
Yeah, Trout it's tough, man. Mike Trout, in his first full season, finished second in MVP. Arguably could have finished first, but Miguel Cabrera put up a triple crown, so he had to finish for Rookie of the Year. And next year he finished second, and then he won it, and then he finished second, and then he won it, and then he finished fourth, and then he finished second, and then he won it again.
That's crazy.
And then we had the COVID season where he finished fifth, and he's largely not been healthy. The crazy thing is you can still tell whenever he's out there and has any type of health
month.
He's amazing.
He
So
does
good.
still have it. He still absolutely has it. So, man, I'd love to see another Trout run. I think we all would. So I think it's a great shout by you. Craig, great stuff tonight. We'll be back tomorrow
Thanks,
for
Kevin.
the All-Star game. I'll see everybody for Spain, France. They're on SportsGrid.
Home of Hakimi,